Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Ongoing ministry-wise discussions at the House of Representatives on the budget under the appropriation bill to conclude today. 8 ministers to furnish answers today itself. Solukhumbu's Lukla Airport closed since the past 10 days. The Meteorological Forecasting Division says the weather in Lukla will not improve for a few more days. Russian President Vladimir Putin reaches North Korea after 24 years for a 2-day state visit. Strategic partnership agreement, among others, to be signed between the two countries. And a late goal by Portugal substitute Francisco Conceição secures a 2-1 victory over the Czech Republic in their opening Group F match at the Euro Cup 2024. Turkey also defeat Georgia 3-1. Ongoing ministry-wise discussions at the House of Representatives on the budget for the upcoming fiscal year will conclude today. Discussions will be held at today's meeting of the House of Representatives on the budget of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. During the discussions, lawmakers will present a proposal to reduce expenditure. After the discussions on the budget of the Ministry of Youth and Sports ends, the ministry-wise discussions will conclude. After that, in the second session of the Parliament meeting, respective ministers will furnish answers to the queries raised by the lawmakers regarding the budget of 8 ministries as per today's agenda. Ministers from Health and Population, Forest and Environment, Education, Labor, Urban Development, Defense, Drinking Water, and Women, Children and Senior Citizens ministries are scheduled to provide answers today. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. Why has the practice among ruling leaders pouring budgets in their own region not ended? Your options are A, abuse of power, B, discriminatory approach, and C, politics for election. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces what should be the priorities of their local levels in their budget. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
नेताहरुको अलिक नजिकको मान्छेको घरतिर बाटो जाने त्यतातिर राम्रो अरूतिरको चाहिँ बाटो पनि नबन्दिने है यस्तो समस्या चाहिँ बढी छ अब त्यस्तो नहोस्
गरीबलाई स्वास्थ्यको पनि उपचार निशुल्क हुन पर्यो कति मान्छेहरु बाटो रोडमा बसिरहेका छन् तिनीहरुलाई सरकारले हेर्नु पर्यो
आफैले रोजगारी सृजना गरेर गर्न खोज्नेहरुलाई प्रोत्साहन गर्नु पर्यो
स्वास्थ्य शिक्षा रोजगार बाटो घाटो बिजुली बत्ती त्यही नै हो
जनताका नहुने आवश्यकतालाई पूरा गर्नुपर्छ यो बजेटले
तराईमा एकदमै अहिले मधेसमा अहिले एकदमै पानीको जुन समस्या बढिरहेको छ त्यसप्रति चाहिँ अलिकति बढी नै प्राथमिकता दिनु पर्ला
विद्यार्थीको क्षमता अनुसार छात्र अनुसार त्यहाँ टिचर अवेलेबल छैन शिक्षामा पनि लगानी गर्नु पर्यो
हरेक ठाउँमा पूर्वाधारको काम भइ नै रहेछ तर मुख्य प्राथमिकता अहिलेको स्थानीय तहले शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य
युवाहरूको खेलकुदमा धेरै मद्दत गर्नुपर्छ
बाटोघाटोहरू अनि शिक्षा स्वास्थ्यहरूमा बजेट अलि बढी ल्याउनु पर्यो
जति पनि बजेट आइरहेछ त्यो अनलाइन हुनु पर्यो सबै जनतालाई थाहा हुनु पर्यो कतिको हाम्रो सरकारले बजेट गरिरहेछ कति लोकको सरकारको इन्कम छ
समयमा मल बिउ त्यहाँले पहल चालिदिनु पर्यो
महिला व्यवसायीहरूलाई चाहिँ स्थानीय तहमा दर्ताको रूपमा जुन दर्ता गर्नुहुन्छ उहाँहरुकोलाई चाहिँ उहाँहरुको फर्मलाई जति सकिन्छ स्थानीय तहले 25% 50% छुट दिए अलिकति महिलाहरूले पनि व्यवसायी बन्नलाई अलिकति राहत मिल्थ्यो
A Nepal police constable assigned to the Parliament building in New Baneshwar has committed suicide by shooting himself. The Parliament Secretariat has informed that 22-year-old police constable Ajit Gole shot himself in a toilet of the Parliament building earlier this morning. Police have suspected that Gole might have committed suicide due to family problem. During the meeting of the Parliament's State Affairs Committee on 27th of March earlier this year, Inspector General of Police Basanta Bahadur Kumar defended Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane, citing proofs against his involvement in the cooperatives fraud were not identified. A secretary of the Home Ministry has said that Home Minister Lamichhane had been exerting pressure on IGP Kumar to support him to cover up his connection in the scandal. Kumar had reportedly been unable to ignore the Home Minister's request and supported him back then. Meanwhile, sources say Home Minister Lamichhane has been making efforts to remove Kunwar from his post. Although the Home Minister has not been dragged into Pokhara's cooperative scandal, his name has been included in the investigation report of Supreme Cooperatives of Butwal. The police investigation report, which states that he had taken a loan of 20 million rupees from the cooperative, had reached the district attorney's office. Sources have claimed that Home Minister Lamichhane had become vindictive towards Kunwar, saying he did not inform Lamichhane regarding the matter. The Central Investigation Bureau, CIB, of Nepal Police had been conducting investigation on Surya Darshan Cooperative of Pokhara before Lamichhane was appointed as the Home Minister. Lamichhane transferred AIG Kiran Bajracharya after she assumed the post and realized that investigation was being conducted on all the cooperatives that had provided loan to Gorkha Media Group. The team of CIB that had been working on the case under AIG Bajracharya has been changed. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has said that the removal of the current IGP was impossible. Sources of Home Ministry have said that Lamichhane is looking to appoint Shyam Gyawali as the next IGP. An official of the Home Ministry said that Lamichhane transferred Bhupendra Khatri of Kathmandu District Police Circle and Somendra Singh Rathore of the Valley Crime Investigation Office against the will of the IGP. Officials of the Home Ministry have become hesitant to provide classified information concerning national security to the Home Minister. Meanwhile, the Police Act, which is required for police adjustment, has failed to be endorsed. The Supreme Court had issued an order not to make changes in police without implementing required laws. Based on this, the Inspector General of Police cannot be removed. The Parliamentary Probe Committee formed to investigate mishandling of depositors' money by cooperatives has officially begun the investigation process. Yesterday's meeting of the committee held discussions with concerned entities and officially started their work. The committee had passed their work plan last Friday, while discussions were held with land management, cooperatives, and poverty alleviation ministries, as well as officials of the cooperatives board. The committee has geared up to hold discussions with the concerned sides along with the ministries and departments in the first phase. The committee that was formed on 28th of May had held its first meeting on 5th of June. The committee has been allocated a deadline of 3 months since their first meeting to conclude their task. Solukhumbu's Lukla Airport has been closed since the past 10 days due to bad weather. Due to the closure of the airport, tourists and local residents are suffering. According to Air Traffic Controller at Lukla Airport, Divesh Dahal, flights have been suspended at the airport since the past 10 days. The Meteorological Forecasting Division says the weather in Lukla will not improve for a few more days. It's time now for the international updates. Russian President Vladimir Putin reached North Korea this morning for a two-day state visit. Putin was received by North Korea's senior leader Kim Jong-un at Pyongyang Airport. This is Putin's first visit to North Korea after 24 years. Putin first visited Pyongyang in the year 2000. With Putin, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Defense Minister Andrei Belousov, First Deputy Prime Minister, Health Minister, Transport Minister, and other high-ranking officials are also in official visit. It is said that during the visit to North Korea, the strategic partnership agreement between the two countries will be signed, as well as many other agreements. According to the Russian media, the meeting between Putin and Kim will discuss defense, economy, raising the Russian currency ruble, and contemporary international agenda. The meeting between Putin and Kim is said to further strengthen the relationship since Western countries have imposed various sanctions on Russia for attacking Ukraine. On the other hand, the United States has made it clear that it is closely monitoring Putin's visit. It is said that the U.S. is very concerned about how both countries will maintain peace and stability, especially on the Korean Peninsula. The international media has commented that this visit has made the Western countries apprehensive. U.S. President Joe Biden yesterday announced a new effort to provide a path to citizenship to hundreds of thousands of immigrants in the U.S. illegally who are married to U.S. citizens, an election year move that contrasts sharply with Republican rival Donald Trump's plan for massive deportations. At a White House event, Biden criticized Trump for separating migrant families at the U.S.-Mexico border and using incendiary language about immigrants in the U.S. illegally, including comments that they were poisoning the blood of the country. Officials yesterday said the new Biden program will be open to an estimated 500,000 spouses who have lived in the U.S. for at least 10 years as of 17th of June. Some 50,000 children under the age of 21 with a U.S. citizen parent will also be eligible. Former President Barack Obama and then Vice President Biden launched the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals (DACA) program in 2012, another major legalization effort that currently grants deportation relief and work permits to 528,000 people brought to the U.S. as children. Biden's White House remarks were tied to the anniversary of DACA program. The Biden administration also announced guidance to make it easier for DACA recipients to obtain skilled work visas. Biden, a Democrat seeking a second term in the November 5 presidential election, took office vying to reverse many of Trump's restrictive immigration policies. But faced with record levels of migrant arrests at the U.S.-Mexico border, Biden has toughened his approach. A Kenyan parliamentary panel has recommended the government to scrap new taxes on items like cars and bread that were proposed as part of next year's budget as protesters angered by the measures took to the streets in the capital, Nairobi. The tax changes contained in the government's funding bill for the 2024-25 fiscal year are the latest effort by President William Ruto's administration to boost revenue and reduce borrowing. Last year, it introduced a housing tax and hiked contributions to the National Health Scheme in moves that also triggered protests. President Ruto told lawmakers that change signaled a functioning democracy where people's views are taken into consideration. As he spoke, police fired tear gas to disperse hundreds of protesters demonstrating in areas near the Parliament building. Later this week, lawmakers will hold a line-by-line debate on the legislation underpinning the budget, after which it will be passed to President Ruto to be signed into law. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.